We are pretty much done with the fish and the food. So now let's make it so that clicking on the fishbowl can move or resize the game window. So let's go to fishbowl, 2D view, click on fishbowl, add a texture button, and we'll call it fishbowl button, and we'll add a script to it. Call it fishbowl button, and we'll go to the water button script, and we'll copy this texture as click mask script, copy, paste it into the fishbowl button script in func ready. Go back to 2D view, click on fishbowl button node and open up the textures. Go to the file system and look for the bowl button mask. Drag and drop it into the normal texture. And let's put it right here. Just align it with a fishbowl, and then we'll make it invisible, self-modulate, bring the alpha down to 0. And then remember we talked about the layer visibility order. Sometimes a node can block the mouse input of another node. So we want the fishbowl button to be all the way at the back of this scene, and then we'll connect its signal. So go to script, click on the fishbowl button node, go to the node panel here, and this time we're going to use button down and button up. So we'll connect those two. Button down dot connect on button down. You can just copy and paste this. Button up dot connect on button up, and then we'll create this function on button down, func on button down, and here we'll do get window dot start drag, and we'll create the other one as well, func on button up. And we won't put anything here for now. And for now, just put pass, and we'll add in the code there later. So let's try this. So now when we click on the bowl, we can use it to drag the window around. And of course, clicking on the water will still drop food, but clicking anywhere else on the bowl will drag it around. Next, go back to 2D view, and we'll create another button. We can just use a normal button for this, and we'll call it resize button. You kind of have to zoom in to see it because it's so small. We're still in the move node mode. This will move the node. If you want to select it, go back to the select mode and just make it bigger. And we want the resize to be around here, the bottom right corner of the fishbowl. This is pretty arbitrary. I mean, you can choose any area that you want to use for resizing, but let's say it's here. And again, we can make it invisible. Visibility, self-modulate, alpha 0. Attach a script, resize button.gd, and we'll do the same. We have to connect the button down and button up. So we can actually just copy and paste fishbowl button, copy this whole thing, resize button script. So we have func ready, button down connect, button up connect. And again, we'll just create those functions. Func on button down. We'll do get window dot resize. So we'll do start resize. And then because it's the bottom right of the fishbowl, we'll select window edge bottom right. And then func on button up. and just put pass for now. And let's try it. Now we can resize it using this. And we do want the window to remain a square and not become a rectangle like that. So let's do that. Let's go to world, click on the world node, add a script, create world GD. First we'll set a minimum size, so func ready get window dot min size equals vector 2i 150 150, and then we'll do func physics process get window dot size dot x equals get window dot size dot y. So this just makes sure that the width of the window is always the same as the height of the window. So now let's try that. So there's our minimum size. And then, as you can see, the window always stays square. Now we can actually remove the title bar of the window. So that's in project settings. Go to display, window, and make it borderless. And there we go. Since this doesn't have a close button anymore, you can just click stop to quit the game preview. Next, let's put some tooltip indicators so that you know when you're hovering over the move window button and the resize window button. So we'll go to fishbowl, click on fishbowl, add a child node, we'll do a sprite, and we'll call it tooltip, add a script to it, and we'll create a reference to the images we want to use for this. Export variable images array, an array which has elements that are images. So compressed texture 2D. Save that, and then we can go here to the UI, and we'll get all of these, and we'll drag and drop it into the images array here. When you click on it, now you'll see them there. And you can see the index of each element listed here. And then we'll do func physics process, and we'll make it so that this tooltip always follows the mouse when it's visible. Global position equals lerp global position, get global mouse position, and we'll try 0.5. Let's put an image here in the texture just so we can see it. So for example, window move, and let's see how it looks. So you can see it always follows the mouse, but we want it to maybe be at the top right of the mouse, so we'll do plus vector 2, 20 pixels to the right, 20 pixels above, and I think that's fine. And then we only want it to appear when the mouse is hovering over the button. So let's remove this first, and then let's create a function that will set the image of the tooltip. So we'll do func set image index and texture images index. And we also need a function to remove the image from it when the mouse isn't hovering over a button. So we'll do func remove image, and it'll be texture equals null. And then let's go to the global script, and we'll create a signal show tooltip, and put the index here, and signal hide tooltip, and just make a comment that it will be called from the water button and also the resize button and the fishbowl button and the mute button, which we'll create in a bit, and it will be connected to the tooltip. Let's do the fishbowl button first. So go to fishbowl button, click on the node, and now we'll need to use these signals. So go to the node panel, and now we want mouse entered and mouse exited. So let's connect those. Mouse entered dot connect on mouse entered, and same thing for mouse exited. We'll save, and then we'll do func on mouse entered global dot show tooltip dot emit, and we can get the index here. Click on tooltip, make sure you're in the inspector, and this is the index that we want, index 3. To show this tooltip, emit 3. And then func on mouse exited global dot hide tooltip dot emit. And then let's go to the tooltip script, and we'll connect to the global signal func ready global dot show tooltip dot connect, and we can actually connect it directly to this function. So connect set image, and then global dot hide tooltip dot connect, and connect it to this function, remove image. And let's try that. So that's great. Now, every time we're hovering over the fishbowl button, it shows the tooltip. So let's do that for the other buttons as well. So let's go to the resize button. So we'll connect the mouse entered and mouse exited. We can just copy it from the fishbowl button. So let's select this, copy it, go to resize, paste, and we can copy the functions as well. Back to fishbowl button, copy those functions, copy, and paste here. For the resize tooltip, again, click on tooltip node, make sure you're in the inspector node. It's this one, index 4, to change that. And let's do it as well for the water button. So again, just copy this, go to the water button. Oh, it's actually there already. So we can just copy the signals in here. So from resize button, copy this, go to the water button, under mouse entered, and the tooltip we want to show would be this one. So it's index 0. And when the mouse exit, we'll just do global hide tooltip dot emit. And let's already create the mute audio button. Go back to 2D view, click on the fishbowl, add a child node, just do a normal button, and we'll call it mute button. Add a script, mute button. So for the mute button, click on it, check on the signals, and this time we'll be using this signal, the toggled signal. So we'll do func ready toggled dot connect on toggled, and we need to create a variable muted to tell us if it's muted or not, and we'll set it to false at the start, and then we'll do func on toggled, and this includes the argument toggled, if it's on or not. Let's go to the 2D view and have a look. So first of all, let's make it bigger, and let's move it here to the top left. Again, this is kind of arbitrary. You can put it where you want. Go to the inspector and check this toggle mode. Let's go back to script. Muted equals toggled. So that means if the button is toggled on, then muted will be true. And if it's toggled off, then muted will be false. Mute. And we'll create it, func mute. And we'll do audio server dot set bus mute 0 muted. So what this does is it calls basically all of the audio players in the game, and then it will set them to muted or unmuted depending on whether this variable is true or false. And then let's also put the tooltip indicators. So we'll do the mouse entered and mouse exited signals. We can copy and paste it from here. We'll do copy and paste, and then we'll create those functions, and we can copy from here again, copy and paste. And let's go back to the tooltip node, click on that and look at the indexes here. Okay, so if it's muted, we want to show this one. And if it's not muted, we want to show this one, right? Here, let's do if muted, then show tooltip 1, right? And then if not, we'll show tooltip 2. And when the mouse exits, of course, we'll just hide the tooltip. And here, when the button is pressed, we also want to change the tooltip, and we can actually just call this function. And of course, let's make it invisible. So click on mute button, go to visibility, self-modulate, bring the alpha down to 0, and we can also go to debug and hide the collision shapes, and let's try that. So here there's sound, and if I hover over this, the tooltip will be shown. If I click on it, it'll be muted and there's no sound. And if I click on it again, sound will come back. And over here, the resize tooltip is shown. And the move window tooltip is shown as well. I noticed something with the food animation, so it's all moving there. So let's just fix that. Let's go to the food script. And so I think instead of animating the food node itself, we can animate the sprite. So let's create a reference to that. Drag and drop this. Press Command or Control. We'll just call it food sprite. Copy that and replace self. So the tween will apply to the sprite instead of the food, and let's try that. And that works better.